are live. Cool. Anyways, hello. Hi, everybody. If you're tuning in, if you're not, I get it. This might not be a supremely interesting stream, at least at first. It's just going to be, like the description says, I'm going to be carrying a bunch of modules out of my system, repositioning a whole bunch of stuff, and then trying it out. Arrangement and modules. So, yeah. Needs to be done. I got a couple things, and there's a couple things that after a while you start to realize it's kind of just not really me. So I've already done. Ha! That's awesome. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I've already torn out the SMR here, so that's going to get mothballed into another system. So the thought is I'm going to put all of my oscillators or my sound sources, instead of going top to bottom, I'm going to go left to right. So I'm going to put the kick-all and the plats. I want to move those down here. Right where... Yo, Bobby! Yeah, right where the stochastic function generator sits. And then the filters, I'm going to move over and try to make a row kind of here. So the CSL is going to come down here. These guys are going to move over. So there's a lot of juggling in this massively annoying Tetris game called Eurorack. And honestly, I don't even know. Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for coming by, of course, and for the shout out. I don't even know if I have enough space. I did the thing that you shouldn't do, which I did not plan anything out on modular grid and check with stuff. But the fact is, I still had about 16 HP to spare in here. And I took out the spectral multiband resonator, which I believe was 28 HP. So between those things, I should have plenty. I know I'm going to have plenty of room for the new modules because they don't even total up the SMR. So I think for me, it's just a matter of shuffling things around and then seeing what kind of space I have left after that. But there's some irritating crap like this, like pulling power cables out and, oh no, I just pulled out the wrong one. See, I'm already starting. Oh, I still pulled out the wrong one. What in God's name am I doing? Jesus. Surprise. Now there's a couple of disconnected modules back there. And I don't know what they are. One step forward, two back is accurate. So I'm going to have, like, modules just laying around all over the place. Oh, man. Now I can't. You know what would be a good is to completely unplug the whole system here. Before I start fiddling around a bunch of electrical. This stuff should be, very least, re-plugged in until I officially... Where did the other one? I did pull 2 ribbon cables, 2 power plugs for some things that should not have been pulled. I'm going to have to get up with flashlight and do this. Dang it. Dang it, Bobby. What in the hell are you doing? There you go. Flashlight. Why do you have a flashlight next to your console? Like, that's why. That's exactly why. So, and I do have a nifty little USB charging powered screwdriver. It is just a lovely little bit of cheap but powerful kit. And this is like my Eurorack screwdriver. Even though I'm using knurlies, to do this by hand would take forever and it would tear the shit out of my fingers, so. Knurlies. It's just fun to say. Say it with me. Knurlies. Okay, there's the Orpheus filter. That's probably going to end up camping right around here someplace. So both of the Mankato and the Wasp are going to get moved over somewhere. I don't know, man. I know a couple of guys that swear by old school modular screws. So yeah. They just look at the cost. They're cheapskates, and people do modular on the cheap as much as you can, which is not much. And that's, I think, one of the ways that they cut costs. I'm like, really? That's a cost cut? You want to cut costs? Make your own power cables and patch cables. Seriously, buy a giant spool, decent quality. That is a chonky filter right there. But it is a really nice filter. The Vinicius stuff, I'm tempted again. I'm put the lizard module back in. And this is such an interesting module. This is either a sequencer or it's like a mega oscillator. Hey, Ian. What's going on, man? Happy Friday, and I'm on spring break as of now, so fuck yeah. But the lizard module can be a sequencer. It can be an 8-stage like LFO thing, like 8 simultaneous waves, all with different rates. It's a really cool thing. Like lizard, as in it's chameleon. You know, it changes its form or whatever. So at least that's what Fabio Fonseca of Vinicius Electric was going for, and it does work well. And the fact is that oscillator section, it's got about 10 different modes to it, so you can actually make it a like a super saw, and it sounds frigging amazing. As like this mega super saw ridiculous oscillator. I'll apologize in advance too of two things. One, running on like 5 days of shitty sleep. Two, I might fade in and out in the microphone because I'm not terribly close to it and I keep moving around. So if I don't have a headset mic, that's kind of a fact of life there. All right, so all of this stuff. Yeah, y'all just hang there. And then we'll pull you out. Dope for modules are the best bang for the buck. Somebody was like, I'm gonna get into modular. What should I get? I'd be like, go and get some dope for modules. Like they are the best bang for the buck. By far. And they're good. They're not like shitty modules. Like Behringer modules. Like, No, it's actually very well laid out. And again, I bought the case from a dude who knows what he's doing. Like he built this case up to spec. He does cable management, if you notice. The chaos comes, it's inside there after you put it all together, so you can't see it. But yeah, ribbon cables everywhere. So there are power bus boards in here. So at the inside, if you look way down yonder, there's the power supplies. Way up yonder, more bus boards. So there's 4 or 5 bus boards for the power supplies. There's actually I overpowered this thing because I didn't want to be like, oh, you've run out of space and amperage and stuff. And that's definitely a potential danger if you're not thinking about that or concerned with it. Again, modular grid is the best thing because it actually totals up the power consumption of all of the modules that you have. So you can, really kind of sculpt out what you want beforehand. Did I do that? Not as much. I did it a little bit. I mean, I wasn't going in completely blind, but there were a number of things where I said to myself, I have lots and lots of HP, and I think just gonna ADAC Systems. This is another company. Notice, like, all their stuff is very business-like. The only bitch is text on there. It's so dang small. I have never used the Cherry Auto. I mean, I've seen it. I know of it. It seems kind of like VCV Rack. I did just download VCV. If I were you, I would just get VCV Rack. Seriously, get VCV and play around. And there's so many modules of like legit stuff. All of the mutable instruments modules are in there. Most of the Instruo modules are in there. There's Bifaco modules are in there. Like, yeah, VCV Rack. It's free and it's fucking great. And they are supposed to come out with or they already have one. That is a VST, so you'll eventually be able to put it into your DAW and use it like that, which to me that's obviously a pretty phenomenal thing. So, okay, I think I'm also gonna pull the Scion jewel. Maybe not today. I might leave this whole bottom row exactly as not 100% sure. I'm probably going to replace the Metropolis with the Vermona Melodicer. That's, I think, my next purchase. But I do have. Oh, you do have it. Oh, sweet. That's freaking cool. Show you what I got today. I haven't even opened these boxes. If you are the first to see the unveiling, this filter, very excited. Melodicer. No, man, I have been. I love the Metropolis and it's great, but the Melodicer is like the Metropolis with extra chaos and less specificity. Actually, hey, I would do some tutorials for V, but I think Omri has that down. Omri Cohen, Omricohen. He's got tons of tutorials for VCV. I want to say he's one of the authors, if I remember correct. So yeah, check out his stuff. Omri or Omri, he does great stuff. Yeah, this is glorious module number 1, Supercritical Neutron filter, and holy shit! If you listen to the sound of this thing, shit. Came with a couple of screws. This is a Finnish company, Supercritical Modular. It's like 2 guys. They also made the Demon Core Oscillator, which is a 16-voice Eurorack oscillator. That's very expensive. Oscillator and the breakout box together are like $1,000. Ooh! This filter was not cheap. One of the most expensive. But in terms of, you know what? I have one noise engine. I have 2 technically. I have the Rosie, which is an output module, and I have the Tempe. I don't like their look and their layout. I don't like it. I've used them. So I have friends that are modular nuts, right? I have a couple of friends that I actually have companies, like this guy, suit and tie guy. I bought one of his oscillators. So STG Soundlabs VCO. Very cool, very classic stuff. Oh, noise engineering. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. No, I don't. The Basimilus and stuff like that. I do not have any of those. And to be honest, like those two I have played with. In fact, I have them in Reason, which is, not exactly the same thing, but they're pretty damn close. And they just have I don't know, they have a really raw, harsh sound to them. And I know some people are into that, but I'm much more into the smooth analog happiness, the goo. Yeah, so yeah, like STG, suit and tie guy. He runs his own company. He's got all of the modules and stuff. Now he's a huge proponent of DIN sync, like the old Roland synchronization standards. So that's a little odd. Not really, but I mean, kind of. It's an interesting niche, market niche. His stuff tends to all have DIN sync options built into it. All right, so here's my plan. Let's see, what should we do? I think the first order of business is to move the oscillators down. So I think that's going to go first. Before I start putting filters in, I'm going to, let's pull these complete. I was going to leave them hanging there, but I don't like that. It's icky. Makes me a little. But yeah, if you want to cost save things, I know I'm all over some random. You want to cost save things? Make your own. You get a roll of ribbon cable like this, and these connectors are snap-on connectors. Like it doesn't require any knowledge or anything. You can just make your own power cables instead of paying $5 a piece for them. Like Eurorack cables, these things are easy. They're 1/8-inch connectors. Get yourself a little soldering iron, get yourself a little soldering skill, go to town. I used to actually work at a cable factory. Made cables and electronic subassemblies for a bunch of places, Siemens and a whole bunch of companies. And that was nice. I could just be like, "Hey, can you just order me a roll of insulated cable?" And I would just make 1/4-inch patch cables for my gear and my setups and microphone cables. We would just peaches come in a can, and they're put there by a man. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Okay. Had some thoughts as to like the modulation and clock sections in here too, and I might kind of leave things the way they are right now, and keep a lot of my modulation stuff kind of in the center. So my thought was workflow: oscillators and sound generators on the left, filters in the next, modulators and stuff after that. So yeah, the 4MS module, that's going to have to be moved probably here. So we're going to go Platts, kick all. We're going to put them right here. Let's just do that. Get her done. So this is, like I said, I'm basically going to have to tear down almost the entire thing. Stuff that's not moving is the control row at the bottom, which is all, my sequencers. The nice thing is that the Melodicer and the Metropolis, same exact size. So sub one out. Don't even take out the ribbon cable. Just sub it out. Replace the knurlies, and I'm off. So that's exciting. I was like, man, if there was like one of them's 34 and the other one's 35, like I would have been kind of pissed. But I bet you they did that intentionally. Hey, here's a really powerful sequencer. The only other thing I would change if I was replacing the Metropolis with Pacific is get the new one, the Metropolix. because I believe that one is like a 4-channel Metropolis. That's pretty awesome. Okay, and now we come to the total pain in the ass part of plugging in cables with my giant hands. And that means probably going to have to pull this sequencer. Oh, God. Do it. Poof. Okay. Now, let's see. What can we do? What can we do up here? Can we put it there? Or are we going to put it up there? I think top. Plug you in. Plugged in. Go. I'm going to screw it in yet. Kick all. The nice thing is, because I've typically been using the Plats as my hi-hats, now they're a lot closer to the dot sequencer. Son of a bitch. Cheat. Son of a bitch. Okay. Careful of that man. Kato. So that's another STG Soundlabs. He makes some interesting little systems too. Like he did like a competitor to the Moog, whatever it's called. I can't think of right. Not the deep. The main semi-modular Eurorack single voice monosynth sequencer thing. So are you gonna go? Plus Struo. Just look love. I'll love you, Struo. Designers have wondrous Scottish accents. Nobody likes a good Scottish accent. Just face it. Except maybe other Scots. Don't like my fucking hat. It's bullshit. That wasn't a Scottish accent. I can't do a Scottish. Okay. This is a long, laborious process. It's kind of like, to me, it's very much like if you had a hot rod and like it was sitting in your garage and it was just like a busted ass car. And you're like, every once in a while, you got some new parts for it. Ooh, I'm going to put on these new headers. Or, ooh, I'm going to put on, something new. Some new happy thing. Otherwise, you could just got busted ass parts laying. It's kind of what it looks like a lot of the time. You're not completely set up. So imagine these guys with this wall full of modular, like this, friggin' just giant edifice in their room. Imagine how long that would take to build, to rearrange and tear down if you. All right, Plats, you are much more at home. That is. I use this so much, and it's like the farthest away from everything. Smart. So, let's see. How's everybody's evening? I'm in the Midwest in the looks like it's going to be kind of crappy next week. Spring break, and the weather is going to be like 35. God. Okay, I need my specialized tool. Nut movement. Very. It's a pen. Special. Far be it from me to be serious. So, this guy there. Like, this is the kind of thing that I should be doing while talking to some modular expert stream. This is the kind of shit that, like, well, how'd you like that new module with the thing and does great stuff? And hey, I'll put out a quick plug if you are able or if you are in Chicago area. Early September, NobCon, which is the world's largest analog synthesizer. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Last one I went to was I got to hang out with Michael Boddicker and Tom Oberheim. Listening to like Mike Boddicker, who played synth on like Jackson's Thriller, stuff like that. Session musician, you know, super well known kind of guy. Hearing him talk about how it used to have to be, it's pretty interesting. Like he had multiple rigs, so he would have to have like 3 or 4 DX7s, and then he would pull the RAM cartridges out with his patches, and he would run across town to another studio where his people were setting up like another rig for a different session, and then he would play his stuff, and then he would run across town and go to something. It's cool. Yeah, it's not like I was making tons of money, but you just hire people. Music scene in LA, you could do that. You could just hire somebody to move your stuff and set it up for you. I don't know. I just found that to be kind of a cool concept. All right, so the even VCO is going to go up here. And then I'm going to put the new STG VCO right next to it, because they're very similar, like a basic-ish analog VCO. Basic analog wave types, you know, basic stuff. So, okay, screw fall, I'm going to be annoyed. No! Oh no! I've missed it! Missed the hole. It's terrible. Oh, I got it. Because if it falls, it's going to go right into here, and it's going to bury itself in the power supply, and then for some reason, everything's going to explode. And just bad. World War III started basement of an arts park in Crystal Lake, Illinois. I think I missed the nut. Son of a bitch. This is the worst one. This is the only really bad one. Any of these that are right by the edge, you can't get a finger in there. Actually, I could just be smart. Be smart. Still really ham fists up there. On the subject of suit and tie guy, STG Soundlabs does live sets. Absolutely. And he does like old school, like techno, trance, and go stuff like live. Bunch of synths and his modular stuff. His modular stuff that, come on, I can't get it to move over now. His modular stuff that he originally started making, big. It's 5U. So each of the modules on there are like 5¼ inches tall or whatever. Old Moog format stuff, basically. So he's got a couple of big systems of all. And this wouldn't be an issue system like, because there's so much room to work on there. no knobs crammed together. It's just, it's like suddenly driving around some giant 70s Cadillac or something. Hey, come on, you piece of shit. Move over. What are you doing? Move over. Okay, there you go. Jesus. Way out of line. Ah, there we go. We got it. It's in. Finally. 10 minutes of wrestling just to put one thing in. Uh, big one is the back and so. The other thing is, like, when you're putting these modules side light, see the little notch. That notch, other end of this. Now the notches in all of my power connectors are all on the right side. So if I put this cable in there, got to go like this, bend. So you got to like flip things around and make sure that you or how everything's gonna line up in there. Oh, we're also. It's like, do I really have to pull saying? Hardly knew ye. Power cable. Chunk. I got the purple knobs too. This thing is really cool. It's got a really cool tuning system on it. So I'm kind of excited to try that out. Have a range knob, so it's either low, octave, or wide, and then there's a semitone knob. So essentially, it's. I just got 2 tonight. I think I got a limit. You know, even as it is, it was almost $1,000 for these. That filter, all the money. Filter was like almost $700 just for the. But it has what I want. That's the thing. It has a stereo spread built in, so you can feed it a mono signal. It's like it'll just blow it up stereo. I've got so many things that stereo modules, or I have a nice happy stereo, 4 stereo channels in my mixer here. Like, I might as well use them. Should be using them. So I try to kind of make it a point to get stuff that has that capability. To put the CSL long extra screws in here. And there are too many. Aren't like just enough to hold X number. It's like a shit pile. So sometimes you got to push them out. Make sure I've got enough batch. that on the rack and thing. These they're just little tiny nuts inside of a rail, so they move around. Once you get them cinched in there, they're fine. They don't move. It's not a big deal. Some people don't like these. And my rack brute cases, they have a fixed strip of metal with screw holes drilled into it. See you, Jason. But the problem with those rails is that unless things are machined, toleranced, like almost absolutely perfectly, there is a very, very strong to very strong chance of having stuff that doesn't line up. So you end up with, tiny little gaps. Or you end up with an overlap and you can't even put something there. So it's like one of the two either one is bad situations. So I like the moving nuts. Some people hate them. Only thing that's bad about them is the time it takes. Like right now, when I'm setting stuff up, nut in place underneath, and I pop an early, cinched down. Same thing. This is why I started using this pen cap, as I can push a nut into place underneath, and then as it gets into sight, I pops it in, and I'll see it, pop a screw in, and it's done. So, my God, Instruo, your modules just look so good. I really want to put the R bar right next to it, just because it looks great. And I did think about getting their filter, but it's mono, and it's a basic filter. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet for that. I'm going to need a filter in the other cases if I start adding modules and building a second system. So maybe I'll take the Vinicius filter and put it in the other case. Place it with the Struo. This guy. Of course, you might know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to end up with a bunch of my case, and then I'm going to start going on reverb, spending shitloads of necessarily. Used to be as financially responsible. It's damned un-American of any credit card debt. It's stupid. That was the lesson that I burn you. Pop that in there. Good. Early on top. First, slightly less annoying. No, no. Shit. Where did it go? It hit the. Good. It's either that or it just falls into the case, like I said, and it's like inside of a power supply resting on the circuit board. So. On. On. Jerk. Do this. This. Isn't that? If I remember correctly, this thing. This, exactly perfect. Sucks. I grunted, sweated, and swirled. Really could use for doing this. Something. Shooting. Ensemble oscillator. This little thing, by the way, has so much torque. You like, I can't stop it with my fingers. Like it just powers through and tears up my fingers. It's insane. All right. What next? What next? Rings. I'm thinking rings right here. It's good. Seems like, unless they're both stereo. It's a bit as to where I place it, but right. So we're gonna need side screw mountings here. Put them in like so. Slide this dude over. Cables being in the way. Unscrew. Two screws. All right. There's that. Oscillators are in. What's next? Quad VCO. Stochastic generator. Give me space. Lizard. Not going on modular grid. Or at least there's not perfect space. Great if everything just actually lined up. But that ain't gonna happen. Not in a system that somebody could devise ACE system. Oh, no. Basically 3 HP here. Despair. One envelope. But I also have very 2 HP blank panel. All right, well let's attack the filter first. Or put the stochastic function generator somewhere else completely. Probably feels like a top row kind of thing. All of the are along. That's probably a good. Drop it in the time being. Stay. Certainly don't stay. It's just cram a single screw in. Filters. Go with the filters. Wow, that is a short. So short. It's stupid. Stayed very. Oh. Little bitty gap. If I could fit these two in there side by side with absolute extra room spare. Like, I go here. This is my home. I belong. All of the screws. See where that is expand. Should. Ram and jam this thing. Son of a bitch. It's just a fraction of an inch more space that I need. Wonder if I just cinched it down, like just screwed it in, if it would pop. It would like flex past everything. Binding. Now let's see if we can. Okay. Before we do this, let's hook up. Good. Okay, that side fits. Bottom. Bottom is just a fraction of a hair. Oh, just barely. Should I even try to make it work? Should I start grunting and get it to actually? Probably should. Because if it could work, that would be just going to snap home. There will not be a hair to spare. Couldn't spare a hair. Can't spare a square. Fuck this power cable. Why is it so damn short? Damn it. I have spare power. There is no reason that I should be dicking this. Have to double check. I filtered. When I didn't screw that, it's like, I need to end it all. Ah! And it's trying to take a dive out of the case. Shatter itself to pieces on the ground. Stay with us. Don't leave us yet. Soon. Okay. This guy. No. No, there is a measurement standard called HP. And I forget exactly what it's I don't know. 10 HP or something. I don't. So, you know, things are listed in the number of HP. Yeah, the terrible hand room, no hand room on any case. That's the thing. There is no, you know, oh, this one will be easy to work with. Nope. Nope. Not gonna. Right. Goes the actual grunting and sweating portion. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I thought I had it. Shit. Popped into place up top. Didn't pop into place. So what I'm going to do is lift the Zadar just a hair. Let's pull the knurlies on the left side. Then kind of like that with them. Come on. Do it. Success. Oh, the only problem is that I have screws for these. All right. Well, now we know it can be done, which is a good thing. Okay, so let's line up all of the screws that I need before I go through that process. Seat this filter and See, screw. Guy goes. What? Why did it just go? This isn't even. How did that go in so easy? There we go. There we go. Got it. Got it. Happy days. Happy days. He. Dear, I'm so excited about this filter. One. Yeah, now that is a tight row of modules. Not a spare millimeter. Not a micrometer spare. Get all those in there. It's almost as if I planned it out on modular grid. Friggin' rebel. That. Okay. So we have half of our filter section, almost half, have the Orpheus put in. That's going to go right here in our chain of stereo modules. Orpheus and Wasp. Got a couple of utility modules. Have the stochastic generator, sequencer, and that quad VCA. All of those need to be fixed. I think I'm going to put the VCA down here. What I would like to do is sandwich the VCA with envelopes. So have envelopes, little tiny envelope on either side of the quad. Us spacing everything out a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, you could. It's just going to be a lot harder. Yeah, I'm not working with Reason tonight, but I usually do. So, hey Rush, good to see you. I've seen you in here. Yeah, you could. I mean, think about an old school synthesizer. Like think about a Moog modular back in like the late 60s. That's all you would have to work with is an 8-step sequencer. And an 8-step sequencer that wasn't even necessarily quantized to like a scale. You would have to carefully tune each step even. So shit is better. Respect. Got resistance. Happy. Expensive purchase, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be absolutely. I'm also pretty sure that having 4 screws in a small module with everything packed in completely unnecessary. So let's save a couple of nerves here and there. Just keep alternate sides, upper left, lower right. Let's save myself. Read a story today. How Ukraine started this whole war with like 70 tanks. Now they have like they've lost a bunch, captured a shitload, which I just think is hilarious. Oh no, sir, we're running out of tanks. No, you're not. Sir, we have too many tanks. We don't know what to do. Swimming in goddamn tanks here. I know, we do need a hum while this is installed, or some background music or something. You want to hear a random, hilarious teacher story? Wednesday, my 6th graders. So this is an 11-year-old. She is a chatterbox. She talks a lot. So randomly in the middle of class, just goes, "Can I hit the bong?" I just about lost my shit. Because, come on, that's fucking funny. And she had no idea that that was, you know, a pot smoking device kind of a thing. She had no idea. And I was like, you do realize that that's like the name of like a marijuana smoking. And she was just like, completely shocked and appalled and everything. And I was just dying. I'm like, you can't make that shit up. Yeah, just give me one. Puff, puff, give. It's funny. I was just talking to a friend of mine, one of my fishing buddies, about smoking and like back in the day kind of thing. So he's like 20 years old. Yeah, I had a friend that had a 6-foot bong and stuff, and that was just insanity. Like, you know, what's the point? It's dumb stuff that friends had. Kind of a hilarious exchange. Now, what she meant, by the way, was gong. Okay, so I have like a wind gong, like kind of hanging in the corner of my room. Wanted to. I did a dumb thing. Dumb thing that I did. Just screwed myself on that. I want to say I'm into the home stretch here, but I'm definitely approaching. Your patience. Bloops and bleeps. I will. Definitely. First thing we're going to test. Lost it. Not across. Oh. Binding up. Oh, I'm cutting in and out probably because my noise gate is kicking in and I'm mumbling. So, again, my voice is not going to be supremely perfect. Now we've got the wasp filter. Yeah. Mostly I'm just bitching about stuff. Probably won't be horribly upsetting to okay, let's get the man released. Just completely screw with people. Sit here going, just like screw with it. Can't hear you. Sound. I do that. Yes, I did. It's to go. He said nuts. Okay. Crap. Craptacular. Where are all of the extras? I don't know. I have to just go crosswise. Ooh. Fall in. Don't fall in. Anybody know the band UK? Just out of curiosity. Special tool? You mean the pen cap? Yeah. Professional. Appreciate walking down. Respect. Very, very useful. Come on. Stuff that I like. Stuff that I don't like. I don't like it when a module has one tiny little hole screw. Like, give me the wider the notches. You know. Admittedly, when it's in, it doesn't look as pretty because you got some like spillover. You know. Cares. All right, that's better. Okay, what are we gonna do here? Are we gonna put the lizard module in or not? We need to put the VCAs, the sequencer. Decide basically where everything is gonna officially go. Okay. Let's get the wasp filter in here also. Put the wasp filter right next to the kick-all. Because frankly, I think those two might be any. You done. Not, you know. But Not too bad. There we go. White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. All right, Ian. See you later. Testing. Should be working. Ah, fucker. That won't fit. CAs. Probably not. Hunting for a power plug. Hunting for a power plug. Successfully. Oh, yep, got it. Excellent. Okay. Or I do that, though. This is going to be. See, the theory is if I pretend like it's going to be a horrible, horrible torture session, then it's just. That's like a reverse psychology fate. I expect something horrible to happen. So if you start to talk about it, then it's just gonna fate's gonna screw with you. Like, ha, think you're all smart. Here, it's gonna go well. And it's in. Okay, good. This guy goes there. This guy, cram and jam right next to it. Cram and jam. HP module. They're neat and light squeeze. Okay. So earlies. Earlies will go. Except we need this first. Damn it, Bobby! Oh! Okay. There. There. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of them. They make a ton of modules, 2 HP. They're really small. They're see it. There's that little black module right here. That's a 2 HP module. Tiny. They actually make a whole system. I believe it's either them or I know Erica Synths also has a range called Pico. Their modules are not quite as small, but they're still pretty. So I have the Pico low pass gate. So they have a whole like enclosed system that's like size of a lunchbox. That's all tiny. Just this is bad enough. Imagine having. Okay, that getting there, chugging away. Come on. All right. Guys, I'm going to make sure that the new ones power on and look good. So far, okay. Yes. Let me quickly hook up VCO. Sure that it's sound. Should be. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something's wrong. Something is very wrong up there. That was weird. That entire row was turning off. I am concerned. Uh-oh. Yeah, we got problems. This cable, not good. That's what's. Unless it's the plug that it was somehow. No bueno. No bueno at all. So What the fuck? Okay, let's double check something. Oh. Okay, that's all good. Yeah, I either have a faulty bus bar at the top here, and I don't know how the fuck that happened. Because it's been absolutely fine. Or might be one of the power cables, these two. So let's pull this. First of all, check it. Sure. Oh, you dumb son of a bitch. I plugged in the goddamn power cable. Probably why. Hope I didn't just kill them. Very real danger. I just... Pretty sure he puts in reverse power protection circuitry and stuff so that doesn't happen. But let's hope that's all it's going. Because if it's like a power problem, first of all, I don't get why that would suddenly show up because I haven't done anything with power. So it totally makes sense that something in here was maybe shorting out. It was shorting out the 5-volt rail. See, it's got indicator lights on the bus board. So the 5-volt rail was not powering up. Okay, crossing fingers. That looks better. Eddie. Let's test the output. Up. Yes! So here, this is the tuning range on this thing. So it's like octaves. It's got a built-in drift generator. So it just drifts and stuff. Yeah, man, I had a... Sadly enough, it was still my screw up, but it didn't have any lasting damage. So, woo! Woo! Okay. I have to go wipe now. Okay, now we got a bunch of stuff that we got to put in here. We got a mixer, we got wave folder, got a whole bunch of crap. We got a sequence. Where can we at? And that's a stupid place to put it anyway. Mother us bucket. Okay. What if we complete VCA? Hardly ever use it, so it kind of makes sense that it would be top row or out of reach. Oh, these fucking Vinicius mods all came tiny power. That means Not enough room for a. Nope. Yet. Close, but not quite. All right. How about those new Behringer miniature mutant synths that they're putting out? 6 of them or something. Weird. Behringer, insane. I mean, it's not a bad marketing. Hey, you can buy a mostly full-featured synth for $100. Polkas, suck it. On a tech setup, throw in a back. I was trying to think if I could do a setup. If I could break my second rig and take it somewhere and have my Bose battery powered speakers and have a battery backup or a power system for the modular itself, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be pretty. But then, like, what do you do? Oh, I've just set up my modular somewhere in a garden so I can listen to the sound of the plants. That's pretty much. Oh, and this top row. Screwdriver. All right, we're definitely in the home stretch now. At this point, I'm just going to throw in whatever I can. Top row. Start screwing stuff. Multi-waves. We do it. I think we'll keep you up there, but first, scissor. Have a buffered case I and so I've got Aura VCA. I mean a lot of quad VCA. That's another Yeah, I should probably put it in. Probably. So let's silly. So badly. Okay. So I think let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's put the lizard module in. We should be able to have an almost entirely red top row. Have the multi-waves. You know what? I am not going. This problem with this tiny little cable. So I'm going to quickly make one of my own. Seven, 10 pins. One of I'm going to cut it to match. So got the red stripe on that side like so. As it goes cable to cable, I take 6 pins, slice it off the side. Swiss Army knife to the rescue. One. Not quite. I'm in the home stretch here to modify a power cable. What I don't want to do is risk having any of these pins in contact with that don't need voltage. So I want to make sure that losing count, and I keep losing sight, and my flashlight is. So what I like to do, take a knot. It's completely. So, all right, and now I can hook this thing up basically wherever. Ping. What? Okay. It's the multi. Let's go VCA. somebody once said that system mostly because of the red mod. All part of a system that I bought when I was first starting out with stuff. It's called the Lizard system. CS Electric. Got it used. It's approximately the size of like a Mother 32. A little bit bigger. Very, very different capabilities, though. It's really designed more like you're a keyboard player in a band, you want to add sound. Here's this little thing. It's got a MIDI port and plug your synth in, plug some cables in. Okay. First of all, after days of doing this, shoulders. Temporarily, that guy comes down. Got the lizard. Here, lizard, lizard. Relinquish the lizard. Bort? Yes. Son's name is also Bort. More Bort license plates in the gift shop. Pete, they're out of Bort license plates. Gift shop. Guy's been mothballed in backstock for a while. Yeah, dusty. Just a little bit dusty. Throw our utilities up here. Malts. They actually have room for that that little mixer. Mixer is nice because it's either CV or audio. It's a DC matched. Their voltages. Some cool modulation effects with that summing FO like that. I don't know. Actually, place them all. Almost there. Almost there. Okay. Fire stuff up, make sure that the lizard working. Looks like it is. Looks like everything is a go. Cool. Power down. All the rest. Some stuff and some weird. Ultimately, what it's all about. I think I like the look of breaking up the red with the white utility modules. It's actually kind of. Utility modules are cool because they're. You're not familiar with the term a mult. You basically plug in one thing and it turns that into 4, or in this case, it's normaled, so you can turn 1 into 9. Kind of cool. This is just an. You know, like the LFOs, for example, from the 4MS quadpingable LFO. The voltage is not. They're just cranking 10 volts, plus and minus, all the way. Cannot change the amplitude. Have to run it through. Use the attenuator as a crude mixer. I want more. Probably had the wavefold. Not just a single like folding thing, and just by a demon. Terribly pleasant sound. Civet. Sorry about that. Nobody needs to stare at my ass on. Hey. Early's in guy. And I die and I lay me to rest. Hey, you too, Yuliamata. Take it easy. One last quick thing. I'm going to stick a blank. It is done. It is done. It is complete. Let us make noise. Okay. Testing. Huh. There we go. Okay, I have settings. All right, here we are. Wow, this is going to be weird. I'm going to have to relearn where everything is and where it is. I think I like it. I like it already. Platts is like right. Oh. Okay. Let's do something. First of all. Well, at some point. Let's try the new oscillator. See what we... Let's use the lizard. This is going to go into this guy. So out. So if let's just start it with this happy triangle. Okay, one thing though. We need to tune stuff. So let's put the tuner on. No. Tune. Damn. Rock solid. Right on C. Holy cow. That's impressive. Like, it's just bam, right in the middle. So if I octave it up, okay, C3, it's not quite perfectly tracking there. 100%. C4, it's really, actually, that's impressive. Okay, so back at it. That is a square wave. All right, well, let's do this because, frankly, I've been waiting for too long. Let's try the new filter. So, this is a stereo output. Stereo. Oh, someone didn't zero out his effect sends. Buddy. Sawtooths. All right. Crisp. Five. Bowls. Fast move. Now I'm gonna have to read. 4-pole. Packing up minor leads. Packing up minor leads. putting away my science pen cap. I'm like afraid I'm gonna put all this stuff away and then be like, oh no, I forgot that other thing. And just be like, well, even after my scare, that reversed cable, looks like everything went okay here. So, so we've got 2 pull, 4 pull. Now, here's the question. Does this thing put out a gate signal? I think it does, actually. If I put it in as a tempo, yeah, it's putting out a clock signal. It's kind of, so we can be like, trigger, and have nice happy envelope triggering filter. Y'all, pew, pew, pew. Now we're talking. It's got a secret mode. It gives you 20 decibels of gain in the drive. Okay, now, if we compare this to Morpheus, let's just do a direct side-by-side here. Motherfucker. Cable you are connecting is too short. Now, what's unfortunate is it's a stereo input, and it's like one or the other. It's not normal. What I could do is hook up. So that's sawtooth on one side, and then triangle on the other. Ooh, drifting. See, like, that sounds fucking great, too. Hey, Jojo, what's going on, man? Yeah, you're here just in time for the music. And by music, I mean ear-shattering amounts of distortion. Hey, Bob Gobble. 2112. Da-dan. Da-da-dan. I love 2112. It's such a good song. Okay, so like that's that. But I mean, like, come on, let's get back to the Supercritical. Let's run some Square. So see how it works. See how it sounds. Square wave on this oscillator is just as fuck. Love it. Oh, were you Rush, like the name in there? It's got negative CV ins, so it'll invert the voltage. Quite cool. So this is what they call Liquid, the character. Of course, it's got drive, too. Oh, wow, that's nice. That just makes it ballsy. So this will do up to 8 pole, so a 48 dB per octave at its max setting. And then it's got multiple character settings, so it's got 5. It's got crisp, fat, mean, sour, and liquid. There are others that are sort of hidden within there, and then you can drift in between multiple types. Here's the sour. Each one is multi-mode, so it's got the high pass portion of it. Let's do something else here. Let's do, I am going to change the oscillator. Put it in from... All right, let's tune it first. The one thing that this module definitely... Oh, I was actually... How you do... Okay, how shall we control this thing? Yes. The top right is the data. So it's either an oscilloscope or it's a lot of things. It can be a clock generator, it can be a spectrum analyzer, spectrograph tuner. It's a 4 oscillator thing. It's got 4 wave outputs at the same time that you can do. Sorry, 2. Clock output, so it's got 4 channels of clock that are all individually configurable. A voltage monitor, a 4-channel voltage monitor. It's really, really, really cool. Yeah, it's a super duper useful thing. Like, for example, if I take that gives us a bit of idea what's coming out of this thing. So now you can kind of see what the actual waveform looks like. And then as I change controls, yeah, so this oscillator lets you draw your own waves. Look what's happening. I'm doing one knob, and it's changing one segment of this like multi-folded square wave thing. And that's just one mode, right? It's got tons of modes. This is like a super saw. This is 8 simultaneous waves. I believe that's the square wave one. And then each one you're changing the phase. You see up there, and now we've got all these nice sawtooths. Standard waves right there, triangle, sawtooth, sine. There's the first knob, controls the pulse width. Ah, nice. This is a chord oscillator. So I really like this module. But this is my favorite. It's got a friggin' super sub. Come on. Can't go wrong. It's got four simultaneous waves. All of them. Change the volume and the phase. So it's capable of making some really potent sounds. Or it's a sequencer. Something weird here. Okay, now I would also like to try this on something else, specifically the ensemble oscillator. That has a stereo. It's a stereo. Two stereo. Now, if we were really doing this correctly, take a clock out. Start doing some shit. So clock number 1. Now let's go into a buffered mult first. And now we have our clock signal multiplied out and throw it wherever we want. This god darn cable is too short. External clock. Okay, that's our tempo. Alright, so then we take a clock and we go right next door to the dot sequencer. I got a couple new modules. One is the STG Soundlabs, my buddy, suit and tie guy, one of his oscillators, which is really, really nice. It's I would say, basic oscillator with really nice features. Tuning and stuff, control over it, super stable, rock solid. And I got this beast, Supercritical Neutron filter. Yeah, that was the one that I was the most excited about. I'm like, I could always use another oscillator. And I culled a couple of things. Okay, now I'm going to test out my drum generation section here. Look at that. Short cables. Done. Ah! See, I knew I was on something. Oh, dummy. We can bypass the filter. It's fun though. Neat. set up a quick bass voice. Sold my sub fatty yet, so that's kind of the unfortunate thing. I'm gonna wait until I sold it. I figured, oh, it will sell right away. Just hasn't. A little disappointing. But life. Actually, let's do this a different way, because there's multiple ways to do what I want to do. Let's do this. I'm going to take a clock out and run it up to this clock divider. Now, I could just do a separate clock directly from the data and just divide it down. I'm going to divide this by 64. into this sequencer. So then it should just change. And now, 4, 5, 6, 7, switch, 3, those 16 counts. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, switch. We can try to make it switch up to a flat. That's actually successful. Get Eurorack. Do all this stuff on your computer for free. So this oscillator, if you hear, it just does semitones. You can get it, you know, you can sweep it. Obviously, it has that mode, but this knob goes either low into LFO territory, or like here. Okay, so now we're in LFO territory. Octave, 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 and then wide range, which just turns it into a smooth 5-octave range. Otherwise, it just tracks semitones, which is so cool. Like, I have to dick with tuning it. And it is a drift generator. So you can hear it's going in and out of tune ever so slightly. let's hook up the Turing machine. Dropping cables all over the place. So let's hook up another clock channel straight into the Turing machine. Okay, but I'm going to slow down that clock. It's like on an 8-note clock. Or it's a half-note clock. All right, where do we go with this? Where do we go from here? How about the CSL? Cables are being assholed. Let's trigger another channel of the Zadar. This pulse out. Use that to trigger a filter, I suppose. Yeah, let's go into the Morpheus filter. And let's take, I'm going to take two outputs. Put the sub in. No, not sub. Let's do the two sawtooth ones. We'll put them in as the left and side of this filter. Alright, I think that's gonna do it. Wow, almost 3 hours. I knew it would take me a while to put all this stuff together, though. That was gonna be... I actually like the look of how everything came out. I like this top row with, like, the utilities divided up and everything. It's not so, like, red in your... kind of is. The flow, my oscillators are right here. Holy shit, that makes such a big difference. Otherwise, I was always going up here for everything, which was stupid. This oscillator fucking rocks. This filter is amazing. Yeah, I am stoked. Next stage, I'm going to replace the Metropolis with the Melodicer. It's going to be the next thing. Then I would sub out a couple of these. The multi-waves thing. Cool. But, you know, I could get rid of it. 4-channel mixer, I could get... so there's a few other things. A drum module would be really nice. Even if it was like a small one, like just to make snare drums or something. That would be cool. And then, you know, maybe a 2-channel thing. And then I could free up my plats to do other stuff. It's a great oscillator. So, anyways, thanks for joining me. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the road, and yeah, it's been a hoot. I'm gonna probably do another stream Sunday evening. For me right now, it's 8 o'clock Central Time. So probably Sunday evening, 5 or 6 p.m. Central Time. And I'm gonna hopefully get Jake from Signals Music Studio to play some ambient guitar, Helix, through on a live stream, modular accompaniment stuff. I'll probably bring the System 8 out here too and play some stuff along. So that might be kind of a trip. Yeah. So I will see you then.